Odd Taxi was one of the biggest surprises last year, being that it was one of the best anime that came out in 2021. Odd Taxi is honestly a masterpiece. It was a really slept on anime last year for people who didn't watch the anime, because trust me, you needed to watch this anime, and I don't know why more people haven't. I know at first some people didn't want to watch it because the characters were animals, and you know, a lot of people, they associate animals with furries, even though in Disney they literally have talking animals. I don't get why people act like that, it's weird. But Odd Taxi is more than that. This is one of the most compelling mystery anime that has ever came out. The story is honestly amazing, especially when you realize that every character that is shown in the anime somehow impacts the story. I truly believe that this is one of the greatest anime of all time, especially in the mystery genre, because this anime doesn't leave that many clues that will prepare you for the revelation that happens in episode 13. Another thing that this anime does well is that it covers a lot of different topics that we never really see, and they also cover a lot of topics that are relevant to current times. But some of the different topics they cover are clout chasing, wasting money on mobile games, being addicted to mobile games, mental health, having bad parents, crooked cops stealing, being a simp, dating apps, midlife crisis, loan sharks, jealousy, the life of idols, crime organizations, the struggle of being in a relationship with somebody you barely see or being kept a secret, dying friendships over the fact that one of the friends becomes way more successful, the life of a fan that devotes themselves to the person they idolize, and there's a lot more topics that it covers. Odd Taxi, like, all in all, covers so many different topics that we don't see that much. It's amazing the way they do it, and it's in 13 episodes. That's the crazy thing. So the one thing I truly enjoy about Odd Taxi a lot is how the story intertwines so well, and especially it leads to the climax that happens in episode 13. And let me tell you, episode 13 will leave you speechless because of like what happens. And like I said earlier, this show doesn't leave that many mysteries for you to know that revelation that happens in 13, because 13 is like mind-blowing what happens, and it makes you appreciate this anime so much more, because like you see episode 13, you're just like, wow. But if you've never seen Odd Taxi, basically what the story is, it wraps around this cat idol girl that basically went missing, and then they find her body in the river, and then from there they somehow connect that the last person that saw her was like a taxi driver, and that ends up being the main character. And like there's a lot of mystery that wraps around, because like we basically see that everybody that comes inside his taxi that he basically gives a ride to eventually become like main characters or something, or they're part of the story, and like we see them throughout the whole series, and somehow they're connected to this sometime, somehow they're not. And that's like the truly fascinating thing that I love about it, because I just love seeing the little mystery there, because like it's not like something like Erase, which is a mystery anime where in Erase you basically know who the killer is like by like episode 3. Like as soon as he goes back in time you basically figure it out, because like little subtle hints, where in this one you're not given subtle hints like that, because like it's mind-blowing what actually happens. And like I don't want to spoil nothing, but I just want to talk about it because Odd Taxi is phenomenal. And another thing is, the opening is so good, and the ending, they're both phenomenal, and like even the visuals. And just know that the opening ending do, like once you see episode 13, you're kind of look at it and be like, oh wow, why did I never think about that? But yeah, it's one of these like amazing thinker animes in a way, but it's just because the mystery is so well, and the way like stuff is just connected from every single character. You'll have funny moments at times, a lot of serious stuff, and like I said earlier, it tackles so many topics that we barely see, especially the clout chasing. Like that's something new, because you know, social media and all that, and they tackle that. And even gacha games, how they tackle that, how there's a character that basically goes crazy over gacha games and he basically becomes a villain. Yeah, there's so many different things, and like even relationships, and like we even see like the falling out of friendships, especially like when two people like come up at the same time. That's what you see a lot of, like if you like follow rap and you know rap groups, like that's how like a lot of those like basically split up, because you have one person that's always like the big dog and nobody else. There's like stuff like that, and that's like the one interesting thing about it, because like you see that, because I can kind of relate to that, where like friendships basically start to like fade away and go one way, especially when somebody's doing one thing and another person's not, and like maybe one person is way more successful and the person that's not as successful basically wants to have a falling out. That's the one thing I like. And also seeing like all the different characters. Yes, if you've not seen Odd Taxi, please watch it. Like I know a lot of people were pushing for it last year, but I know there's still a lot of people that have not. Like if you're watching any anime right now, drop it and pick up Odd Taxi. I've been wanting to talk about this since it came out last year, but I took a break. I just let it go past, and I'm mad I waited this long to talk about Odd Taxi, because I mean I watched it while I was airing, and yeah, it was phenomenal. Like I said, it's one, like what Odd Taxi is one of these like once in like a generation type of anime that comes out, and it's just as phenomenal. Like I honestly think this is like one of the greatest anime of all time, like when it comes to story and everything it does, especially for only being 13 episodes. And I know we got a movie on April 1st. I didn't watch it yet. I'll have to peep it eventually. But For it to be 13 episodes, I think it is one of the greatest, because especially the story it tells, and it tells it very well for 13 episodes, because there's a lot of anime that only get 13 episodes and they do not deliver on a story. There's even some that have like 50 plus that don't deliver on a story. I know if you look at like rating anime sites, they won't have this like as high as it should be, because you know those sites are usually kind of messed up and people rate stuff wrong in other stuff. But yeah, please watch Odd Taxi if you've not seen it. If you've seen Odd Taxi, please let me know how you feel about it, because like I said, I think it's one of the greatest animes that's ever dropped, especially in the 2020s. Especially in the 2020s. Like I said, last year it was my anime of the year because of how well it was. There was a lot of heat that came out last year, but this one, in my opinion, was better because, like I said, we have in mystery goes in the same genre for me for like horror and thrillers, where like you know what the really good ones are and you kind of know what the mediocre bad ones are. But I'm happy we actually got a really good mystery anime, because like trust me, we need this, because Odd Taxi in my opinion can actually go with like regular mystery shows and and movies, TV shows and all that, because the mystery that this adds, it's amazing. It's phenomenal. I know there's so many people. I know like Mother's Basement was pushing for more people to watch this, and yes, if you've still not watched Odd Taxi, please watch it. I know I'm repeating myself, but I have to repeat myself, because if you made it this far, I hope you like want to watch Odd Taxi, because like I said, the story is phenomenal, and the mystery, and then like when you get to that revelation at the end, it's just phenomenal. But yeah, let me know how you feel about Odd Taxi. And if you've still not seen it, please go watch it. And if you have seen it, let me know in the comments what you think about it. And let me know, like, what were you feeling, like, when you first saw it? Let me know, did you, like, binge it? Or were you watching it while it was airing, like me? Because I feel like if you binge this low-key would be an amazing binge anime. Especially because when you get there. Because, like I said, through them 13 episodes, you're going to be like, whoo, especially episode 13. Like, I don't want to spoil, like, what happens in episode 13. Because, like, if I spoil what happens in episode 13, it won't ruin the rest of the anime. It'll just let you know, like, what actually is happening. And you'll pick up on stuff. Like, it's an amazing rewatch too, especially like once you know everything that happens, you just like go through and like, oh, I see how this connects now. But yeah, if you're new, why not subscribe? If you enjoyed the video, why not subscribe? Like if you enjoyed, dislike if you didn't, subscribe if you really enjoyed. But yeah, Odd Taxi is amazing. Like, still, it's been a year. Like, a year has gone by, and like I'm still talking about Odd Taxi because it's phenomenal. I honestly want Odd Taxi on Blu-ray. They need to release it on Blu-ray. Like, I need Crunchyroll to, especially since they have this thing with Funimation now, the partnership. I need them to release more of their anime on Blu-ray because I want Odd Taxi on Blu-ray ASAP. I gotta peep and see if it even is, even if we even have an English release yet. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next video. Bye, and watch Odd Taxi.